Okay, hi everybody. Here I am again, and to make another language video. I gotta say I prepped a lot for this video. It was a lot of work to make this video because today we're gonna be counting in Arabic, and I was not aware how big of a task this was when I picked this language, which I really love actually, but it has very many different dialects, so it's really hard to find, to figure out what was the standard Arabic and then what was the other predominating dialect that diverged the most from the standard Arabic, because I wanted to give a comprehensive idea of how the numbers sound. Of course, I can't do that because there's so many different dialects, but anyways, so as I usually do before counting, I usually give a brief history of the language, yeah. So the Arabic language is a Semitic language which emerged between the 1st and the 4th century CE or AD. It is the official language of 26 states and the liturgical language of Islam. I think that's pretty obvious. New vocabulary has been added naturally due to the industrial and post-industrial era. They have many different dialects, as I just talked about. There's 30 different dialects. During the Middle Ages, Arabic was widespread in fields of science, mathematics, and philosophy. This caused many European languages to be influenced by it and incorporate Arabic words into their languages. I actually didn't know that, so that's very interesting. Scillian has about 500 Arabic words due to being conquered by North Africa from mid-9th to 10th century. Arabic has also borrowed words from other languages such as Persian, Turkish, Bengali, Punjabi, and Spanish. And etc. There's more, but I listed just the predominating ones that it has been influenced by. All combined dialects of Arabic is spoken by 422 million Arabs in the Arabic world. It's one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. It is an Abjad script written from right to left, just like Hebrew. Classified as a central Semitic language. It is related to other Semitic languages like Hebrew. Some that are still spoken, some that are dead. For example, the languages that are dead now are ancient Arabian, Canaanite, etc. Old Arabic emerged in the 1st century CE. It was standardized in the 2nd and 3rd year of the Hijra, and Hijra is the Islamic calendar, and I believe it starts in year 622 AD or something like that. It starts during the year or the era where Muhammad and his followers moved from Mecca to Medina, and classified Arabic is the Arabic that you see in the Quran. Modern Standard Arabic is what scholars use to write and what is broadcasted throughout Arabic media. So I believe that's what we currently consider standardized Arabic. Arabic has influenced all different types of languages, with loanwords in English to loanwords in African languages. Obviously, the biggest influence has been in the Arabic world, and then I'm going to go to where it's spoken. Arabic is spoken in Algeria, Bahrain, Chad, Comoros, Djibouti, Egypt, Eritrea, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tunisia, the United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. And also, then there's 6 sovereign states in which Arabic is a national language or recognized minority language, and these states, these places are Iran, Turkey, Niger, Senegal, Mali, and Cyprus. Alright, so I hope I did an okay job with the history over there. I tried to do the best. There is a lot on Arabic language history, which I'm sure you know, you can find on the web and so forth. So I'm going to get counting with the standard Arabic, and then I'm going to move on to the Moroccan dialect. Now, just to give you guys an idea, the Moroccan dialect is so different than the standard Arabic that some scholars even consider it to be a distinct language, kind of like Spanish and Portuguese. But it's right now it's not. It's considered just another Arabic dialect. But it diverges so much that I thought it was important to include, and I wanted to point out the differences. Okay, but I'm going to start with standard Arabic, and then I'm going to just point out the differences for what's in Moroccan Arabic. Okay, so let's get counting. So 1 is wahed, 2 is ithnan, 3 is thalatha, 4 is arba, 5 is khamsa, sita, sabah, tamaniya, tisa, ashra. Okay, that's 1 through 10. Now 11, the compound numbers of 10 are pretty easy, but 11 doesn't really follow any rule. It's ikhta and then 12 is just itnain ashar. 13 is talata to ashar. 14 is arba'at to ashar. 15 is hamsa to ashar. 16 is sita to ashar. 17 is sabat to ashar. 18 is thamaniyat to ashar. 19 is tisa to ashar. And 20 is ishrun. And you guys may notice a bit of a difference in the way I'm like starting the word. Is ishrun. It's like from the back of your throat. The Arabic language has some sounds that are very similar to Hebrew, the h and the ain sound. So we use that when we're saying ishrun, which is 20. So to make compound numbers, it's pretty easy. It follows is the opposite pattern of what the English language uses. The pattern it uses is it says the singular digit first and then the tens of the number, rather than vice versa. And then there's wa in the middle for in Arabic. So 21 would be wahid wa ishrun. 22 would be itnan wa ishrun. 23 is talata wa ishrun. Arba'at wa ishrun. Khamsa wa ishrun. And 29 is tisa wa ishrun. 30 is talatun. So to make the tens of the numbers, you just take what putting aside 20, you just take the other single digits and you just add an un at the end. So talatun. So 31 would be wahid wa ashrun. 32 is ithnan wa ashrun. Talata wa oh, I'm sorry, I said 20. I meant wahid wa talatun. Ithnan wa talatun. Thalatha wa thalathun, arba wa thalathun, khamsa wa thalathun, and 39 is tisa wa thalathun. 40 is albaun, and again, like you're kind of saying it from the back of your throat. I'm gonna go ahead with the compound numbers of 40. Wahid wa albaun. Ithnan wa arba'un, thalatha wa arba'un, arba wa arba'un, khamsa wa arba'un, all the way up to 49, which would be tisa wa arba'un, and 50 is khamsun. And now again, same pattern. Wahid wa khamsun, ithnan wa khamsun, thalatha wa khamsun, arba wa khamsun, khamsa wa khamsun, tisa wa khamsun, and 60 is sita'un. And again, we're gonna go with the compound numbers of 60, and that is
واحد وستون اثنان وستون ثلاثة وستون أربعة وستون خمسة وستون and 69 is تسعة وستون
70 is saba'un. So 70 is saba'un, and then we're gonna move ahead with the compound numbers of 70. واحد وسبعون اثنان وسبعون ثلاثة وسبعون أربعة وسبعون خمسة وسبعون and 79 is تسعة وسبعون 80 is ثمانون and again I'm going to move ahead with the compound numbers واحد وثمانون اثنان وثمانون ثلاثة وثمانون أربعة وثمانون خمسة وثمانون تسعة وثمانون and 90 is تسعون and again I'm going to proceed with the compound numbers واحد وتسعون اثنان وتسعون ثلاثة وتسعون أربعة وتسعون خمسة وتسعون and 99 is تسعة وتسعون 100 is مية. Okay, so that was standard Arabic. So which I think is the most commonly way of saying the numbers in Arabic. But let me move ahead and actually talk to you guys a little bit about the Moroccan way of saying things. So there's several differences in the single digits of the number. When we're talking in Moroccan dialect, instead of 2 we say juge. So it's not, instead of itnan we say juge. And then instead of talata with like kind of a softer T, in Moroccan Arabic you say talata. And now the compound numbers of 10, 11 through 19 is completely different, okay? So 11 is khadash, 12 is tanash, 13 is tiltash, 14 is abastash, 15 is khamstash, 16 is stash. That's the easiest one, just stash. 17 is sabastash. 18 is tmantash. Yeah, something like that. Tmantash. 19 is sa'atash. It's like a T and S together. Sa'atash. And then when we go to the tens, they're very similar to the standard Arabic. However, instead of a WN at the end to make it a tens, you actually add an IN. So ishreen, not ishroon, is ishreen. And then the compound numbers that have 2 as a single digit, you actually say itnain. So if I were to say 21, it would be واحد وعشرون, and then you say اثنين وعشرين instead of جوج وعشرين. You don't say that, you say اثنين وعشرين, and then you continue through with everything else as usual. Now 30s is the same pattern. We're using instead of saying ثلاثون, we're gonna say ثلاثين. And same pattern. 40 is arba'in, 50 is khamsin, 60 is sit'in, 70 is saba'in, 80 is tmanin, 90 is tisa'in, and 100 is mi'a, which is the same as standard Arabic. So I hope I did a good job on this. Don't take my word for it for all of these explanations. Please do your own research. I'm not an Arabic speaking person, but that is what I got with my research, and I hope you guys liked it. I really love this language. It sounds so similar to Hebrew. It sounds so similar to home that I actually have embarked on learning it. So I'll try to update you guys on that, and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.